Okay, let's unpack this. For today's deep dive, we're condensing the key market variables for September 8th. We've pulled from sources like Hank Young, Reuters, Chosin Ilbo. Our goal, give you actionable insights and fast. We're covering gold's big surge, some shifts in real estate policy, and global supply chain stuff too.
Yeah, and what's really striking, I think, is this common thread, this idea of execution. It seems to run through all these different events. They all sort of signal that you need agile responses, in this kind of dynamic economic landscape we're in.
Okay, so starting with gold,
Yeah.
this is where it gets really interesting for anyone watching investments.
Mm-hmm.
New York gold futures. They've just soared.
Yeah.
Past $3,600 an ounce.
Yeah.
That's, well, significantly outperforming U.S. tech stocks and crypto this year.
Right.
And it doesn't feel like just a quick blip. Investment demand is really surging. It seems tied to expectations for maybe earlier interest rate cuts.
Yeah.
Because the U.S. job market looks like it's slowing down.
Exactly. And it's more than just the usual safe haven thing. Gold hitting these records, it kind of signals maybe deeper market skepticism about, future growth assets. Makes it a surprisingly aggressive play, almost, for what's usually seen as a passive hedge, even against high growth tech.
Huh. So raises a question for your portfolio then.
Definitely. Are you reassessing gold as a key hedge, maybe? Especially against the usual dollar and bond holdings. And for retail investors, the sources mention things like low-amount installment products or resale guarantees.
Trying to make it easier to get into.
Yeah, it suggests a push to make gold more accessible, shows that agility in executing portfolio shifts right now.
Okay, let's shift gears. Let's talk domestic policy. Korea's 97 housing measures. Looks at a big turn here. The focus is moving pretty aggressively from just permits to actual construction starts.
Mm-hmm.
They're aiming for, 1.35 million new homes in the capital region by 2030. And LH, the Land and Housing Corporation, is going to manage more projects directly to speed it up, presumably.
Right. Speeding up execution.
But there's a flip side. Loan rules are getting tighter. So for non-homeowners in regulated spots like Gangnam, the LTV loan-to-value drops to 40%.
40%. Okay.
And those Jianzi loans, the big lump sum deposits,
Mm.
for people who already own one home, the limit is standardized now, 200 million won. It's a clear policy shift that needs, precise execution, like you said.
Absolutely. It really does. So for you, this means managing supply and demand kind of separately now. For businesses, though, maybe there are opportunities. Brand collaborations with LH on these new projects.
Interesting angle.
And for individuals, less leverage in those regulated areas means you really have to reevaluate your rental deposit plans and watch out for market volatility. How these policies are executed is going to reshape things for years.
Right. Okay. Staying on these big shifts, let's look globally. Supply chains, talent mobility, there was that huge integration crackdown at the Hyundai LG battery factory down in Georgia, U.S.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nearly 500 people arrested, many Korean nationals. Now, apparently, many were released quickly, but the sources suggest these kinds of crackdowns by ICE, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, might become, the new normal.
That's a serious risk.
Yeah, for project timelines, for getting specialized visas.
Which brings up an urgent need, really. Companies need to redesign your visa strategies.
Yeah.
You can't just rely on short-term fixes. You need proper L1s, H1Bs for that specialized talent. And probably develop more local U.S. talent, too.
Makes sense.
And critically, your contracts. They should probably now explicitly list this kind of ICE enforcement as a force majeure event.
Like an act of God clause, but for immigration sweeps.
Sort of, yeah. An unforeseen circumstance that maybe gets you out of contract obligations. It's not just legal stuff, it's strategic. Demands proactive execution in managing global talent.
Okay, nearly wrapped up. Just quickly on the corporate side, seeing some strategic moves. Taekwang's consortium leaving to grab a majority stake in Aikyung Industrial. Looks like strengthening their position in cosmetics, essential goods.
Mm-hmm. Stable cash flow there.
And Tesla. They're reproposing a new pay package for the CEO. Multi-tranche, performance-linked, stock rewards, but tied to really tough market cap and performance goals.
Yeah, connecting those dots. Taekwang's move highlights that appeal of essential goods, right? Resilient revenue, maybe brand synergy. It's a tactical execution for stability.
And Tesla.
Well, Tesla's package gives us a peek into how leaders are having to re-engineer incentives, pushing for transparency, tying rewards to really audacious long-term goals. It kind of sets a benchmark for you when you're designing executive incentives. Need those clear KPIs, especially when stock prices are volatile.
So let's tie this all together, bringing these threads back.
Yep.
What's the core message for your strategy from today's insights?
Today's deep dive really hammers home that execution is the key word. It just keeps coming up. Whether you're adjusting assets with gold, navigating these tricky real estate rules, securing global talent, or even setting CEO pay. Decisive, agile action, that's paramount.
All right. And our final provocative thought for you to chew on. Given how events like that Georgia factory crackdown seem to be happening more often, how might businesses need to fundamentally redefine unforeseeable risk in their international operations? Maybe moving beyond just simple contract clauses to actually embed deeper, more systemic resilience into their global strategies. Something to think about.